Greetings all, Mytho here, and in this video we're going to dive into the new Colossus Lurking in the Debris event in Gundam Battle Gunpla Warfare. The event is already live, so let's take a look at the description, achievements, missions, and coin shop, as well as the two new pickup capsules available in the store. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to head over to my notices. Check out the description for this event. So everything looks fairly standard here in terms of the weekly events that we've been getting in Gundam Battle. There will be a series of events, missions that you will undertake in increasing difficulty for rewards, both the bespoke currency for this event as well as achievement rewards such as awakening circuits and upgrade nippers and such. You will receive multipliers like you have in previous events. It looks like we are going to get a 2x multiplier if you have any parts from the Gushian 3-star set as well as the Hayaku Shiki 3-star set, and then a 5x multiplier for the Wing Gundam set that is now available in the new pickup capsules as a 4-star, and a 7x multiplier for any Force Impulse Gundam parts, also 4-star, from those new pickup capsules. So, works exactly the way that the other ones, the Golden Ace and Commander-in-Chief in previous events have. Make sure you get some of these parts that give you the multipliers, because they really help you in earning up to the big rewards from the coin shop, such as the awakening circuits, the 4-star ones. So now that we got the description out of the way, let's go and check out the achievements for this event. Usually grinding out the missions will give you a certain set of upgrade memory and capital and awakening circuits on its own without having to actually spend the coins that you make from those missions. So this is looking exactly like the other events have. They'll probably have you grinding hard and then very hard. 20 hard missions will get you one of the 3-star awakening circuits, and then going up to 20 very hard will get you the 4-star AI awakening circuit and some of the 3-star awakening circuits on the way. Now there is another track here for super hard. I don't remember if this was the case in the last one. I think there was only hard and very hard in the last in the Golden Ace event, but it looks like with this you will also be able to earn a regular awakening circuit after grinding out the 20 super hard missions. So that's actually 2 4-star awakening circuits. Let's see here for the very hard. And only 1. So that's actually a total of 3 4-star awakening circuits for your part upgrades, or tune-ups I should say, which is more than was available in the last event. So that's looking good for just grinding out missions. Now we're going to go to the shop and see what the coins that you'll actually be making with those multipliers on those missions are going to earn you. We've got a new set of Gushian parts, so let's check these out one by one. It's a very bizarre Gundam, but it's one of my personal favorites. So we're looking at some pretty beefy armor stats here. EX skill as head-mounted Vulcan and flare. Fire the Vulcan in your head at foes straight ahead and launch a flare at the same time. You can move freely while shooting. Lowers hit enemy Gunpla's melee and shot defense by 5%. So it's a physical shot, short cooldown, but D- on both the pierce and the power. So not super great for an EX skill, but man, isn't that just the most bizarre looking frog head you've ever seen. So let's go to the chest piece here. Yet another big beefy boy. We've got heavy armor and space again for the word tags. And Buster Anchor demolishes foes with point blank range with a quad 400mm cannon. So another physical shot ability, longer cooldown on this one. Piercing D and Power B+, so we're getting a little bit better, but again, sort of typical for these 3-star coin shop sets. Let's take a look at the arms here. We've got heavy armor and mid-range this time, and an EX skill of Gemini Satellite. Beam shot, piercing B, power D, cooldown much longer at 90 seconds. Generate an energy bit to provide automatic support fire. You can move freely while this is active. Huh, that's... I'm wondering if that's sort of like a turret ability or something like that. Being able to move freely during a beam shot seems like it would be some sort of automated ability. I'm not sure if we've seen that before. Again, pretty beefy stats on this one. Big armor and melee. So if that's the kind of build, you might actually want to be looking out for those parts depending on what that EX skill is. Now we've got the Gushin legs. Heavy armor and high firepower for the word tags, which is a pretty decent combination. You could actually work that into a couple of builds. Then hand grenade is a physical shot, EX skill, piercing D, power B+, throw a hand grenade attached to your side armor. We've seen that before. Now we've got the backpack for the Gushin. The Gushin hammer. That's a physical melee. Piercing D, power B+, brandish the hammer on your back in a flurry attack. So that's interesting. The melee weapon on this, I was expecting the hammer to be its own weapon, is actually part of the backpack and manifests itself in that EX skill. So we've got heavy armor and high firepower on the word tags, which again is a pretty decent combination. And pretty decent stats with in the melee defense and shot defense department. So that's a part I might actually be looking to make a build around or something like that, just because it's so unique. Oh, but here we go. So the Gushin hammer is its own melee weapon as well. Heavy armor and high firepower for the word tags, and then spinning rave, physical melee with piercing D, power B, and a cooldown of 40 seconds. 10 seconds off the line if you're just starting the match. Ready your axe, then spin to attack nearby foes. Lowers hit enemy Gunpla's shot attack by 10%. So that's just a comically big hammer right there. It's got a really impressive melee attack stat. Again, that's something, I've been sort of waiting for this part to maybe make a build out of it. And with heavy armor and high firepower, there's something to be said there about those word tags and putting some of these parts together. Then we've got a submachine gun for the ranged weapon here. Pretty decent shot attack. And a part trait that says Defender Job Enemy Shooting Power reduced by 8%. Okay, so if you've got your Defender Job active on your Gundam, this will reduce your enemy's shooting power by 8%. And we've got heavy armor and mid-range on the word tags, which again is a pretty decent combination. Other entries we're going to see here are fairly typical. We've got an awakening circuit of each kind in the 4-star slot with a limit of 1 of each. Same with the 3 stars. Various upgrade materials. We do get a shader in this event, which we didn't in the last one, so I'm happy to see that, as well as skip tickets. Skip tickets are sort of where your multipliers come into play. If you can get a part on your Gundam that is generating more than 20 of these coins per match, you get a positive feedback loop on that and can spend those coins on skip tickets and have a remainder left over to sort of cycle through all of the missions here. Now we've got emblems. These are actually pretty cool. We've got like a fleur-de-lis in 4 different colors, and then some sort of coat of arms. I'm not 100% up to speed on my Gundam lore, so please in the comments let me know if these emblems have any sort of lore source or if they're just sort of cool embellishments for your Gundam. So overall, yeah, the sort of 3-star store set is usually sort of mediocre. This one I'm sort of feeling the same thing. I do love the hammer backpack and hammer melee weapons. We might have to do something with that. I'll have to put some sort of Thor build together. So the other thing that we have to check out here is going to be the missions for the event itself. Looks like we've got, yeah, just the regular missions right now. Usually the SP playlist of missions, where they require you to go in with a certain group composition, is added later in the event. So we've got your easy, normal, very hard, super hard, and EX missions. Typically what I do with these is I try to full clear the challenges on each of them, all the way up to the EX, and then once I have done all 3 challenges on the EX mission, I will start using skip tickets and a part multiplier to just sort of generate as much coin as I need to buy out the items in the store. And then once I am done with that, I can sort of move on from the event. But the event is not the only thing that was just added to the game. Now we are going to take a look at the new capsules. We've got new pickup capsules, new AI pilot pickup capsules, and then of course these pickup capsules, once the old ones rotate out, those parts are added to the standard Gunpla parts capsules too. So if you're still looking for any of the older sets, you know, your probability of them dropping is lower, but they are still available in these standard capsules. But let's take a look at the new shinies here. We have the Wing Gundam. We're going to take a look at the head here. We've got Transformer and Long Range for the word tags, and head-mounted Vulcan, Pierce and Power both in the D range. So nothing really special to look at here. They're giving me the maxed out stats on these, so take that with a grain of salt. Now we have the Wing Gundam chest with an EX skill of Self-Destruct. Self-Destruct an explosion that envelops foes around you. Take 90% damage to max armor. Oof, wow. So that is looking like a hugely powerful EX skill at the cost of some of the armor. I think that this would be well paired with some of those repair abilities or EX skills, although I do think that those usually ride on chests as well. So yeah, that looks like a very high risk, high reward chest piece there. We're going to look at the arms here. When armor is 70% or less, enemy melee power reduced by 30 with Transformer and Long Range word tags. So hey, I mean, that pairs well with the chest in terms of sort of knocking yourself down to really level the playing field when it comes to both debuffing through this part trait, as well as dealing a huge amount of damage with that self-destruct. Next we've got the legs for the Wing Gundam. Oh, yep, so another part trait that debuffs enemies. Oh, this one actually buffs yourself when you've taken enough damage with the Transformer and Gundam type word tags. So yeah, this is looking like a fairly unique build, the Wing Gundam, in terms of sort of taking a lot of damage and then being able to dish it out when you're low on resources. When armor is 70% or less, long shot attack raised to 20%. I mean, that is that's a huge buff. So very, very risky, again, with the Transformer and Gundam word tags. But I will be interested to see in the future how that playstyle plays off. It's nice that we're seeing more, unique sets of parts enter into the game here. So now we have the Beam Saber, Transformer, and Gundam type for the word tags, and Long Shooter Job Gauge increase boosted 17%. Very interesting. Okay. And the Buster Rifle, which has an EX skill of Max Output Buster Rifle. Fire a rifle rivaling a warship's main battery at full output. Wow, look at that. Cooldown of 80 seconds. Power of C-, which is, you know, not a D, that's for sure, but piercing, A+. Goodness gracious. That is some sort of like, you know, Gauss rifle with Transformer and long range for the word tags. That is a pretty serious rifle there. Now we have the Wing Shield, which has Shield Bash as an EX skill, Piercing D, Power B+, cooldown 21 seconds. Unleash attacks with the Beam Saber in your shield. Raise your melee attack by 19%. That has a Transformer and long range word tag. That's looking like a pretty decent shield, actually. I like that a lot. Next up is the Force Impulse Gundam. Now, the wing will give you a 5x multiplier in the new event. The Force Impulse is the set that will give you that juicy 7x multiplier in terms of the coins you're earning from those missions. So first, we're going to look at the head here. We've got Gundam type and 4 Tundra for the word tags. I'm not a huge fan of the sort of situational word tags. I think it's much more valuable to have word tags that will be on no matter what arena you are playing in, but that's usually also not prevalent throughout the entire set. So, and then the part trait here is when armor is 40% or more, shooting crit rate boosted 30%. Wow. That seems pretty powerful. You know, 60% of the time you're going to be above 40% armor if you're in a really hard fight. Odds are even better than that in most of the missions in the game right now. So 30% boost to shooting crit is pretty beefy. Big shot attack there too. That's actually looking like a great piece. Now let's look at the Force Impulse chest. It's got an EX skill of CIWS, which I'm not a huge fan of. It's just sort of a damage buff that you can use while you're moving around and doing other things, but pretty weak in my experience. Again, we've got Gundam type and 4 Tundra on the word tags. If there's 4 Tundra on too many of these parts, it'll actually be sort of a detriment to the set, just because it'll be harder to get that 3 word tag with something that is on all the time. So now we've got the arms here. Let's see, part traits with power attribute, strong melee crit rate boosted 30%. Wow. With Gundam type and mid-range for the word tags. That looks like a really solid piece. Both really viable word tags. That is a great part trait, and very good stats as well. So the Force Impulse Gundam arms are definitely sticking out to me in terms of quality. Now we've got the legs. EX skill of Rapid Thrust. That is a physical melee with Piercing D, Power A-. Wow, unleash a blinding fast flurry with knives in each hand. Oh, that is badass, I gotta say. Piercing, not so great, but that power is stellar, and it's got a pretty quick cooldown. So that plus Gundam type and mid-range for the word tags makes this another pretty solid addition to your Gundam setup. And now we've got this wild-looking back here. I was trying to get a better view of it, but yeah, let's take a look at this. Man, those are some spoilers right there. So we've got Gundam type and mid-range for the word tags again. Loving that word tag combination. Excalibur, a physical melee with piercing D and power A, cooldown 80 seconds, so this is a bigger one. Charge forward with the Excalibur you received. Squad recovers 48% of maximum armor, raise beam resist of your squad by 49%. So, a big melee attack that buffs up your team. This is looking like a pretty awesome sort of finisher type move, but also, you know, it'll give you some longevity in those buffs that it hands out. But overall, that seems like a pretty good piece as well. And I mean, look at it. How many more wings could you fit on that? Now we have the MABAR 72 High Energy Beam Rifle. The word tags on this are Gundam type and Pro Tag, which is again a pretty good combination there. And then the part trait with rifle category equipped, duh, it is a rifle, you're always going to have that. Enemy shooting power reduced 30%. Wow. You know, definitely not sort of the last shooting EX skill range, but if you're looking for a rifle with those word tags on it, man, that is a great piece right there. And the last part on display here is going to be the mobile shield. So we've got Gundam type and Pro Tag on the word tags, and then shield throw, as we've seen in many other shields, for the EX skill. Again, the shield is a pretty nice slot to just sort of get your word tags in order if you need a melee ability, because that's what you're focusing on. Shield throw is definitely decent, but overall, you know, this Force Impulse set is looking very, very mean. Sort of change some parts around on it to get the word tags in order, but overall, some great part traits, some great EX skills in there. Pretty excited for that set. I'm also excited just to see what that Wing Gundam, what the playstyle is there, what the sort of you know, that self-destructibility, and then all of the buffs that are dependent on you being pretty low on armor. You know, are you going to run with a support Gundam that can repair you up? Are you going to find another part that can repair yourself to get yourself out of that situation, or is it just, you know, a matter of timing and getting everything figured out on that end? So last thing we're going to take a look at here is the new AI pilots pickup capsules. First, we have Mikazuki August. There we go. It is going to be a defender job for this guy or girl. I'm actually not sure what gender that character is. You'll have to forgive me. We've got Pro Tag and Ford Desert for the word tags, and a part trait that says with power tribute, initial EX skill charge boosted by 20%. So with this one, you'll be able to get your EX skills off a little bit faster. Word tags could be a little bit better, but when you're getting down to the pilot slot, as well as, you know, the melee weapon or the ranged weapon and the shield, usually you only need one relevant word tag on that to finish off your set. So that is that with that one. And then we have Sima Garahau. Again, with the pronunciations, I'm all over the place. Let me know in the comments which names I'm butchering and how. So with this one, we've got another defender job. Word tags are Ace Acceleration or Exclusion, or I actually really don't know what that stands for. And Xeon, which raises melee defense 10% while active. Part trait with Speed Attribute, debuff skill effect up 15%. So any debuff skills that you have, that's the little downward pointing arrow on the EX skill, will have the effect hit harder for 15%, so that's pretty neat. So that's it for my overview of the new Colossus Lurking in the Debris event, as well as the new pickup part capsules. Let me know in the comments below which of these new parts you'll be grinding for, and where they fit into your current builds. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe, and I will see you next time.